Yo, welcome to Chop It Up. I am Uncle Freezy. What's good, everybody? What's good? I see y'all in the chat. I see all no, hey, Bodega. It's a different channel, so I didn't get a chance to do the wrenches yet. I will do the wrenches. I will do the wrenches, everybody. So let me do something. I have to do some so I'll do some work for us here real quick. Let me go in and do wrenches. So let me do wrenches real quick, okay? All right. So I'm working on wrenches. I'm working on wrenches right now, so you should see wrenches appearing as we speak. Right? Bodega Wi-Fi. Yeah. Bam. All right. Man, this is a lot of people, bro. This is a lot of people. Let me work on the rich stuff later. I want to talk to y'all, right? I want to talk to y'all about some stuff, right? So here's the thing. Chop It Up is more of a what we were doing on the KMD, right? So I like to keep the KMD, the integrity of the KMD as what it is, right? So the KMD is Knicks Morning Drive, where we talk Knicks and NBA and all that stuff. And I noticed what happened was we got a little sidetracked, right? Just a little bit. And so instead of continuing to do having the conversations on the KMD, I figured we could just come over here and then have this conversation, have the conversations here. So I'm waiting on the fellas to show up. They had a lot to say, and I was like, "Yo, y'all got a lot to say. Let's do it in the proper forum, right?" Let me see. Yeah, did I close them out too fast? I may have closed them out too fast, but we'll see. So let me first start by saying salute to everybody that came over. So salute to my man Chop Low, Jermaine Royce, to Felipe 210. Mama said, "Don't trust you." Was good. 0.5 was good. Bodega Wi-Fi was good. Yeah, I'm gonna work on the wrenches, right? Hey, Karen Fung, what's good? What's good with you? Raw, I see you. Jay Williams, what's good? Wilson Ding is in the building. What's good? What's good? I see you. Andy, Black Andy, what's good? I see you. I see you. Hoodie Kev is blowing me up via text message. Chop Low was like, "Yo, I need a wrench." I got you, Chop. I think I got you already. Yeah, I think I got you already. You know what I'm saying? So who else we got here? So I saw the goats. Oh, DJ the GOAT. What's good? What's good? Jay Williams. What's good? Black University. What's good? What's good? What's good? So, hey, so David Jackson is like, free CP. CP left. CP dipped. CP did. CP was legit like, "Yo, oh, let me do this. How about I do this? How about I do it this way?" Bam. So CP, this is the place for CP cats like CP the artist to flat out eat, right? This is the place for CP the artist. Is the place for CP the artist to eat, right? Because it's all those conversations that we had on the KMD are designed for this, right? Yo, show me
building.
Hey, what's good?
What's good?
What's good, man? So, Jay Boogie is in the building. Jay Boogie, our brother. We love you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hope all is well with you, Jay Boogie. What's good? Jay Boogie says, no breakfast, no lunch. All the way to the people. Stand up and get them like buttons up. Support.
Support.
Yeah, man. Subscribe to that channel. So when we go live, man, y'all will get all the alert. And y'all can jump on and do the same thing. So Show Me Obi said something that legit kind of took me back a little bit. But I couldn't quite figure out where you were going. So then I was like, yo, let me allow this man to break down what it is that he's talking about, right? So you were like, basically, you said, it's all right for a man to cry, right?
Mm-hmm.
I come from a place, I ain't gonna lie to you, I come from a place where if people knew that a man cried, they called him a sucker. He's soft. You know what I'm saying? But this is the 70s when we weren't necessarily good decision makers. The 80s when we weren't good decision makers or whatever. We didn't do things the right way. We probably did things the absolute wrong way, but we did it 100% because that's all we knew. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so the men that I looked up to, and so David Jackson said, no Nick fan left behind. That's mad hilarious, yo. But I think that's odd for my ear. Like my ear, it did something to my ear. It was kind of odd. I'm trying to process it.
Obi did a lot. Obi did a lot to my ears, my brother. Oh, pause. Wait a minute. Pause.
Yes, pause.
Word.
Big pause.
I forget the fetishes out here.
But hey, Freezy, I'm glad you have it, because this was actually something that I was working on, because and I'm sure there's something out there, but there's nothing that I've been able to find that I liked anyway, that brothers can come on like how we have this Knicks platform. We come on, we talk. Sometimes we talking Knicks, sometimes we talking some other stuff. But it was I never found anything where people could just real talk, just come in, real talk, whatever's going on, whether it be what's going on with the George Floyd thing, what's going on in politics, what's going on with your own life and family. People going on, they got stuff going on with their families. Like my brother Tim, he's lost 5 members to COVID. I've lost people from COVID. There's depression. There's suicide. Like, it's so much going. 2020 gave us a lot. Right. And so what it has done for me is it's turned me into somebody different. So the way I look at things is completely different than how I looked at it in 2019. 2020 shook me to the core, to where now when I got laid off from my job, I didn't have the hustle and bustle of going and doing stuff every day. So, it was all about getting my 10-year-old through school, finishing that school work. I was just getting through a divorce. And that's why when I was listening to CP, part of his story is part of my story, going through a major divorce, losing everything, trying to figure it out, being that strong man that you are, but being shaken to your socks, you know what I'm saying? And so when you get in that type of situation, most of us I'm not going to pick up the phone and say, hey, Freezy, I'm going through something. And we're not going to talk about it. Right.
Yeah.
Most I have. So, and CP said earlier, some women got daddy issues. Me as a man, I got daddy issues. My daddy issue is I couldn't trust my father to come through for me. So I can honestly say I do not have. I have one male friend in my life. One. I don't surround myself with brothers. So me even getting on here and talking to the cats about the Knicks, that was easy for me. It was safe. It's Knicks. It doesn't affect me. It's not getting deep down into the soul of me. And so I can do that all day long, and nobody can see what's going on behind the closed doors.
That's real.
So what I've been going through over the last year, I was trying to create content, but I didn't want to go on there by myself. I needed somebody else to kind of bounce things off of, because I may be wrong, I may be right in what I got to say. So you having this is big, and us taking a break from Nick, so we can talk that till we blue in the face, to talk real talk. as men and kind of having each other's back, like that's real. That's something that I didn't have growing up. You know, I had uncles, I had grandfathers. I only had, you know, the real men in my life that really kind of wrapped their arms around me. They died young.
Oh,
you know,
man.
when I was young.
Right.
I lost I lost both my grandfathers when I was in high school. I lost an uncle that I was really close to when I moved to Dallas. Like I moved to Dallas and then he died a year later. You know what I'm saying? So all of my support is gone. So I've always surrounded myself around women, you know, some for the right reason, some for the wrong reason.
Right.
But I've always had that, and I've never like put faith or trust in any man anymore because I'm like, they're either gonna leave me or they're gonna let me down. So I just don't I don't kick it with cats no more. I just don't. And that's just, and I didn't realize that until 2020 when it dawned on me, why am I this way? And so I had to really think and had to kind of dig back into, all right, what part of me has changed over the years? Because growing up, I had a lot of guy friends. We hooped, we played basketball, you know, we hung out, we went to the skate rink to holler at girls. Like that was my life. I had guys around me, but something changed as I got older. And then I had to look back and wonder, why do I not have any brothers in my life? And so that was kind of, you know, I'm listening and I'm hearing what CP went through, and I understand that where I was and where he was in his life, you know, after that divorce. Sometimes that stuff can jack you up. It can jack you up for real.
Can I you know what, Obi, something in my spirit told me not to be a jerk to you when you first came on, because you started off, you know, talking about the females that you had in your life and the type of females you were looking for. And so hopefully everything I say will help you break through, because we do have a lot of similar things. I never knew my biological father. All the uncles that I had in my family, they weren't people that I would look up to. My stepdad was hindered from getting to treat me like his son. You know, that was not my mother's, you know, thing. I learned my manhood through the streets, you know, through my peers, right? And I grew up, you know, with identity crisis. And when I was married, you know, I was a control freak. And my ex-wife was like, hey, you know, you need to, you know, take care of this or I ain't coming back. So at age 25, I went through therapy. And I said the story before. The therapist started with a timeline, right? She asked me, when I was born, who was my parents? Da, 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 da. By the time I hit 7, I was boohoo crying, right? Like snot nose and everything. And there was just hidden issues right there that I was not dealing with. I say to you is that, you know, external validation is not as important as internal validation. Building up who you are as a man, right? And knowing who you are as a man is more important than what you have lost. When I finally met my biological father, you know the last words that he told me? He told me, you ain't never going to be nothing. And he said, he told me that my mom kisses my ass. He said, everybody kisses my, but he's not, right? And I was like 20 something at the time, right? That was the last time I ever spoke to him. The last time I ever spoke to him was 2003, right? Because that was the words he had for me. Now, I could have took that energy and I could have believed it, right? But I always knew that I had a greater purpose. The reason why I get on this channel and I'm so blunt and I don't care about my opinions or whatever, because I've been through it all. I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot in my life that it made me have a hard skin. And so when you say earlier, men are not support. I agree with you. I agree with you. We should we we should not agree to um men are not supposed to cry, but here's the but now. When we're finished crying in our solitude, we got to get up and do this work because we are biologically made to fix things
Mhm.
and protect things. And the thing is that you have to protect your soul. You have to protect your income. You have to protect your future. You have to protect your day out of day. And sometimes, my brother, it's about unlearning what we learned. Because even the women that we choose them based off of what we've learned that was negative. And so do
Yeah.
women. So do women. Women go through they like Kevin Samuels would say, they try and look for the 10% of all men because Disney and Storytel and whomever told them what they were look for, what they need to look for. So it's like sometimes in life, my brother, it's about unlearning and rebuilding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. This year, wow, I just realized this. This year, it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, April, I got the notice. I paid my last mortgage payment. My last mortgage payment because I couldn't afford it anymore. It was 2011. And I ended up losing my house in December of 2011. And now I'm in my own house, a new house, right? I have a beautiful woman, you know, and I'm living the life that was repaired from the one that was destroyed.
Mm. And I think sometimes for me, um, like you said, we as men try to fix things, right? So when I went down that path of divorce, and after I woke up from my cocky, arrogant man fog that I was in, thinking everything was about me and everything was her fault. After I woke up and realized, oh snap, you messed up. So then I was stuck in this, I gotta fix it. You know what I'm saying? And so when I tried to go back and try to repair the hurt, it was too late.
Right.
So then I'm stuck with, all right, well, I work in construction. I've had my own business for a number of years. I shut it down a couple of years back because I just got tired of the stress and I didn't have a life anymore. All my life, I fix things for people, right? So when I can't fix something for my own, I can't fix something that affects me, my own family and stuff like that, that did not compute in my brain. So it was like, it took me down an even darker path of just craziness. And so when you get into those spaces as men, we have to realize we can't always fix it. You know what I'm saying? I think we want to be that hero. We want to put that cape on every day and be that man for our daughters, our sons, our wives, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers. Like, you want to be that person for your circle. But I think it's okay to not be able to fix it, I think.
But here's the thing, my brother. Like, there's a saying, right? You can only control what you could control. Right? You can't make a person love you anymore. You can't make someone hire you. You can't pay whatever. But how you view yourself, that's the only thing you can control. When you wake up in the morning and you know who you are, you know what I'm saying? No one can tell you different. That's who you fix. That's the only thing you could control, because not everybody gonna like you. Not everybody gonna love you. But the next relationship that you get into, you're gonna need to be a complete person, because if you're not, you're gonna just bring this baggage and this whatever into the next relationship. Like you know what I'm saying? So you have to focus on on you, and that goes for all of us. Like I'm a work in progress. I know I ain't anything perfect. That's why I told my girl last night when we had a serious talk. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that you don't beat yourself up because you can't fix things that you can't control.
True.
Anybody else want to say something? Because I feel like
CP on this joint here, the mood and the vibe is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, we want to listen, take into account what the person said, apply it to experiences, and then say something. Generally, so Jay Boogie, what's good? Jay Boogie froze up.
Yeah, I think he froze.
Up.
Yeah.
He just froze.
Yeah. So the deal is with a joint like this, what we really generally what we do is, and I'm sorry about doing this last minute. I mean, I didn't know. It just felt like the vibe in the KMD needed a pressure release, and so I use this as a pressure release for the KMD because the KMD and fairness to the Knicks fans, this ain't the type of vibe you kind of want to have on there. You know what I'm saying? You want it's something different. But I will say this though. I will say this. Yo, men are in a rush to become a finished product, and they face issues that a finished product will face, and it's not fair to the kid because they get robbed of their childhood. And so we go through, so we step into adulthood. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that there is gaps and spaces in our lives that we didn't get a chance to cover when we were kids. Mm-hmm. So we do. So as a
that's
man,
really true.
As a man, you notice like a lot of your contemporaries and a lot of people you hang with, they do childish stuff, or they can't process things from one step to another, right? Like for instance, childish men don't know how to argue without resorting to violence, right? And I know that rubs some people the wrong way, right? But when you were a kid, you get sent to school, to kindergarten, not just to learn academia, but to learn social skills, right? In kindergarten, the thing you learn most is social skills, like how to share.
Yeah.
You know, it's how to be polite.
Yeah.
How to be orderly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different things, right? Because when you're at home by yourself as a kid or around other brothers and sisters, you don't necessarily have to do that. At home, like when you at home, if you're thirsty, you just go get you something to drink. You know what I'm saying? When you in school, you have to wait till a certain time, and then everybody gets the same drink. Everybody you get a lot of amount of time to do certain things, and so there's an order to it. At home, I used to get like when I was a kid, when I was a baby, they used to sit me down in front of the big screen, not big screen, but the big TV in the living room in front of Sesame Street. Right. I remember I used to sit down in front of Sesame Street by myself and just PBS and watch TV all day. And
you saw your lookalike Snuffleupagus?
No, man. Nah, man. Yeah, well, yeah. And then after a while, another baby came along, and she used to crawl up beside me and sit there with me, and she used to just grab my hand and hold it, and we used to watch it together. That was my little sister. You know what I'm saying? And so we sit there and we eat butter cookies and drink juice and watch TV, and then we'll fall over and take a nap. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll get up and go play. And then after a while, another baby would crawl up, and that was my little brother. He passed away now, going to heaven. But you know what I'm saying? But when I left to go to school, the two babies were still sitting in front of the TV. You know what I'm saying? And so I went to school, and cats was there my age, and I would see them coloring. I just go snatch the crayon out their hand and start coloring. And then and the teacher would be like, Uncle Freezy, you can't just snatch the crayon from little Johnny. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, but I want to use it. And she's like, no, you got to ask politely. You have to learn how to share.
You look like a kid that would strong arm little other kids.
But
Like, give me a hand. Give me
true,
a
Freezy.
bologna sandwich.
That's true, because I think most of us, I can only speak for myself, most of us at 18, 19 years old, you had to make a decision. It wasn't no staying at the house. The daughters get that grace.
Right.
They get to stay as long as they need to. So they get to stay, and that's how they learn how to stack bread, because they ain't got to pay rent. But we you going to college, you going to the military, you getting out of here.
You
know what
getting
I'm
out of here?
And so it's like you just getting pushed out the nest, and you like, well, I literally on my graduation night. So we get our diplomas and we're sitting there and when I'm listening, and the whole time I'm looking down the aisles, I'm looking at everybody, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, what do I do now? I had the option of going to the Navy, but then because of my knee, they didn't let me in because I hurt it in football. So I couldn't go I had a plan, I had this plan from probably 10 years old. I'm going to the Navy, then I'm going to learn construction, and I'm going to be a psychologist. Like, I had plans. And then my plans got blew up. And so I sat there like, okay, I had a plan. That didn't work. So what's next? And so I think if I don't have any sons, I have daughters. But if I did have a son, that would be the one thing that I would do different. I would at least keep him around like, nah, bro, you ain't ready yet. You stay right here where I can watch you. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you some freedom. I'm not going to treat you like you're 12 and give you a curfew, but you got to be respectful. Right. But I think allowing men to have that grace to still mature, because we all know girls mature faster than boys. That's been in the books, but we don't take the time.
But they're taught to be more mature faster.
Yes, true.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in?
Let me just say this real quick. So girls are taught to be more mature faster, and it's not an epiphany by us, but girls are taught to play house at an early age. They get doll babies, they do hair, they fold up their doll baby clothes and all that stuff. And for boys, we give them a ball, play games. So girls are learning how to play house, boys are learning how to play games, right? And then they grow up in this mindset of girls knowing how to play house and boys learning how to play games. And then and then they get 30 years old and the girl is wanting to play house, and guess what the boys want to do?
Play games.
All right, hold on. But you look like a decent man, OB, and I believe though that
was so condescending. That was so condescending.
No. I'm saying it's leading to my point that if you didn't get kicked out not kicked out the house, but if you weren't shoved out the nest to fly, you wouldn't have learned anything. Because the man who you are today, you seem like a genuine stand-up dude. You wouldn't have learned that, hey, I got to take responsibility for my life. And the thing with what women are looking for is a provider and somebody who is their security. Now, if we told men that, yeah, you can stay in the house as long as you want until you get on your feet, then how is he going to ever learn how to be out there in the real world? I left the house at 22, 23, and I felt like I was there way too long, whatever. And I got married at 23. And I felt like, and I do, you said something that I do remember. I remember being in the church about to marry my ex-wife and saying, I don't know what I'm doing, because I didn't see an example of a healthy relationship. Marry my ex-wife and saying, I don't. Somebody got free feedback. So anyway, so I say that to you is that like a bird gotta get kicked out the nest to fly, we all gotta get kicked out the nest to fly. And the reason why women are they're able to stay in the house is because I'm gonna say it. Women don't know how to protect themselves in the real world like we do. That's why when women look for houses, single mothers look for houses, they always want to pick the townhouse because they want to be close to everybody. They don't want the single family house, where they're afraid somebody will think. Women naturally are afraid to protect their own selves. So we as a man, we go out in the world and we have to have those protection skills and those providing skills. We go out and we kill and we eat. Controversial, but oh well.
Well. I'm interested in seeing what Jay Boogie has to think about. Jay Boogie, how you like this platform here, man?
My brother, you deserve flowers, man. Point blank, straight like that. Let me shout out everybody. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all y'all great men of honor. My brother, you deserve flowers for this. Because from the moment you sat down wherever you was at and put this thought in the process, I respect you for not allowing it to stay right there. You continued on with it, and you brought it forth to the platform and gave us another outlook. Light. This is what it's about. And I appreciate Chop Low in the chat of the last show, you know what I'm saying, chatting with me and bringing it forth that this was getting ready to go on.
Right.
Once I seen that this right here was getting ready to go on, much as I love basketball, much as I love sports, much as I love rapping with y'all brothers about it, I had to make sure that I did my part to transfer over and make sure I'm a part of this in any type, way, form, and fashion I can to help make this successful. This is a respectful thing right here. So I'm gonna let you know, this is not, you're not gonna see the motivational Jay Boogie on this. You're gonna see the sharing Jay Boogie on this, because this is something you just talk and share, you know what I'm saying, knowledge with people. And just listen to some of the stories, you know what I'm saying, between Show Me and CP. That's just only a few to come, you know what I'm saying? But I respect and appreciate you, my brother, and give you your flowers for this right here, because this is real life, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes in life, when we become our age, you know, we got to be grateful for where we came from and where we're at now. But now it's time to turn back around and grab somebody that don't know about the life and how you got to where you are, and make sure you pull him along in the right direction. Because like Show Me was saying, at 18 years old, you know, back then, people was coming up on decisions that they were unaware and didn't know how to make, and probably at times didn't have nobody that had the experience and went through the same decisions that you were about to go through to help them and lead them into that right direction. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, being able to help young brothers now, and Show Me said 18, right now, they're forced to make those decisions at 9 and 10 years old. Life is more faster and more advanced than where we came from. There's more technology, you know what I'm saying? It's way past VCRs and DVDs, you know what I'm saying? It's way past WHTs and all that, you know what I'm saying? They ain't playing Skelly in the streets no more like we used to, playing stickball. They doing all types of different things in life, you know what I'm saying? So if anything I could do to help somebody realize, you know what I'm saying, the street path that may lead you to prison is not the way to go, you know what I'm saying? That's my duty or call. That's why right now, in my position, I did 12 years Fed time. That's why right now in my position, I try to play my part to make sure I do everything in life. So if the judge, you know what I'm saying, need an opinion about something to let another man out, he can always look towards me and see that I came home and became successful, and somebody else that's incarcerated just like I was can come out and do the same thing. I never thought I'd come out here and have my own original business, a moving company myself, you know what I'm saying? I never thought, you know what I'm saying? At times when I was locked up, I was thinking about how I can get back those lost things. But the real things that I thought was lost was never gone from me. Things like moms, your family, your brothers, your sisters. You know what I'm saying? Those are the real things. Friends, they come and go. You know what I'm saying? They come and go all the time. You can always replace another friend, just like somebody can always replace you as a friend. You know what I'm saying? But real life, real family, real loved ones, you can never replace them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta always be there and give back to the ones that gave for you, especially during your hardest times, man. So I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna be here to totally support this whole network, this whole show, everything about this right here, even more than the Knicks. I'm gonna tell you that because I believe in real life. You know what I'm saying? I salute you and everybody else that's upon this right here, you know what I'm saying? And anybody else that's watching, you know what I'm saying? Come aboard, man, and help this man. I put it in the chat already. No breakfast, no lunch. This man is all the way out here, man.
We stay on the grind.
No breaks, man. On the grind.
We stay on the grind.
He's doing it for the ones that's down there typing and for the ones that's looking into this glass right now. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for himself. So you gotta love and appreciate, man. So I just wanted to share that little bit, you know what I'm saying? A little bit, you know what I'm saying? I got my little one, you know, I'm on all 24-hour father time. Ain't no not ever being a father. You know, I don't like when people say I'm babysitting. No, you don't babysit your own. That's yours. You watch them completely all day long. You know what I'm saying? When I'm at home, I'm with her. You know what I'm saying? That's my inside.
Spending time together.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And shout out to y'all great men, man. I'm right here with y'all, man.
Right, I'm gonna just say something real quick to what Jay Boogie just said, right? I'm gonna just say something, and I'm gonna speak differently than I do with the Knicks channel, man, because I believe in being real, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't come from fancy, well, some fancy stuff, but listen, my family was a street family, right? They came to Jersey from South Carolina, and they got in the street, right? My uncle, you know what I'm saying? My uncles worked at this place, you know, Ford or whatever. One of my uncles was like, man, I ain't working there no more. I make more in a day out here on the corner than they make all week. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he said, no lie. I'll never forget, man. Hand to the man. May God strike me down right now. He was like, yo, Uncle Freezy, go upstairs and get them the 2 knots out of the sock drawer and bring it down to me. So I was about 9 years old, and I had 2 wads of cash in my hand so big that I had to press them together in order to carry them, right? But I'm 9, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing what my uncle told me to do, right? I come downstairs, right? He's like, yo, let me get that one right there. So I bump him one, and I'm holding the other one, right? And so, you know, he give a dude a little, you know what I'm saying, do a little something. He get his little something, whatever. And so so what happened was a few of the dollars came out, flew out of the thing, and all my sisters and brothers and cousins and everybody was chasing money. It's New Jersey, the wind blowing little dollars everywhere. And I got like, I'm like, yo, everybody grabbing money except me, right? Uncle like, no, Uncle Freezy, chill out. And so I'm like about to cry because everybody grabbing money. He's like, y'all keep that money, y'all keep that, right? So all my sisters and brothers, they got like $3, $4. And I'm like, man. Oh, so I slammed the money in Unc's hand. I'm like, how you gonna give them money and not give me no money? So Unc give me a $20 bill. It's like 1980, 1979, 1980. Bro, a $20 bill to a 9-year-old kid back then was something.
Yeah.
It was so impressive to me, right?
Mary Jane's and Tootsie Rolls.
Yes. A lot of penny candy there, bro.
Yes. And yo, you couldn't tell me no, but the thing is, fast forward to 1995, he was strung out on that joint. You know what I'm saying? So the stuff that made him all that money got him a habit. And now we walk around like, yo, Uncle Freezy, man, buy me a beer. I'm like, the beer 99 cents. Like, I ain't got no bread, bro. And I'm like, oh man. You know what I'm saying? So when I look back at it, my man was legit the man, driving these fancy cars and all this stuff in one era. And then in another era, you know what I'm saying? I got to give him change to catch the bus to go back home. You know what I'm saying? So then so Unc looked at me then. He was like taking care of me when I was a shorty. And I was thinking like this dude knew I was gonna take care of him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. Right. And then when I got out of the military, I had me a little money saved. It wasn't nothing, about $8,500, something like that I've been saving because I knew one day I was gonna get out of the military. That wasn't no money for somebody that you know was in the military. That wasn't nothing. But that's all I had, right? But when I got home, it was like, yo, somebody I know was like, yo, I'm gonna give you this slab, you bust this up, and then you know what I'm saying, you be on your way. I was like, a slab? He's like, what, you want a quarter? I was like, no, what? See, back then, I didn't know what that stuff was, right? And y'all pardon me for talking. This is not the Uncle Freezy from the Knicks and Not podcast of the KMD. This is a different, this is, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is I didn't know, but I knew that I didn't want to do it, right? Because I had saw what it did to my uncle, right?
Yeah.
And I want to do this thing that I tell y'all all the time that men should do. If you have good intentions and you have good thoughts, you need to model it, right? And so I want to model being a good guy, right? And like I legit want to be a good, and not saying that people doing anything was not good. What I'm saying is in order to be a good guy, you also have to be a good decision maker because the decisions you make, they impact you directly, but then you got other people looking at you and it also impacts them because they're watching you.
I got a quote on that. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from others' mistakes. And to piggyback on your story, I had cousins who, you know, they were older than me, 3, 4, 5 years older than me. I used to see them, they used to rock their leather 8-ball jackets. Remember the 8-ball jackets?
Yeah, man.
With leather, they had leather pants and the latest Jordans. You know what I'm saying? And we knew what they were doing. But as I got older and they got older, they started doing that time. And when they were in the prison and they came back, they weren't never the same. Yeah. And that was my lesson, like to never do what they were doing out in the streets. So one thing I did learn, because I was always artistic, I was also resourceful. When I was like around 13, 14, I think I was at the age where going to the barbershop, I had to pay adult prices, not the kid prices anymore, adult prices.
Right.
So I was like, what am I gonna do? I think I used some allowance money or whatever, and I bought a pair of clippers, right? Jacked my head up so much. I had to, walk around with a baldy, right? I have a baldy now, so.
Hey, we've all done it.
So it was like a premonition. It was a premonition, right? So I ended up, through trial and error, getting my fade right. So I remember when my mom and my stepdad separated, she moved us right next to the projects. So I was, with the project kids and everything like that. And they'd be like, yo, who gave you your fade? And I said, I did. And they were like, could you give me one? So I was like, all right, $5. And then I would have like a room, a 1-bedroom apartment full of, dudes, you know what I'm saying, where I'm cutting their hair. And then I kept on doing that for like, a couple of years. And that was my hustle, you know what I'm saying? So it was my little pocket change when I had to do what I do. And I because I was trying to avoid that life that made my cousins, what I'm saying, lose their freedom. And they still ain't the same to this day. And so.
Bro, decision making is, and listen, I'm not knocking people for making decisions in the moment. So because sometimes you make a decision in the moment and you feel like it's the best decision for you. But if you knowingly make a bad decision that you know is going to affect yourself and others, then you gotta yeah. But what I wanted to say to what showed me Obi said about men showing their feelings, bro, that's something I legit had to learn. I didn't learn that until I had a son, right? Like I legit because you ever heard somebody say it's like, you know, talking to him is like talking to a brick wall?
I feel that with you every
Man,
day.
that's me, yo.
Yeah, so
And Kook Keith.
And you know, so what it was is I didn't really show emotion like that because I come from a macho dude family, dudes that played sports, dudes that was in the streets where you could never show no nothing, you know what I'm saying? And it ingrained in me that, right? But then, you know, I had these boys and I see that they were coming up the same way as me. Like I could legit hear them in the other room. Like one was 7, or one was 10, and the other one was 7. And they talking to each other. Nah, you N-word this. You heard me N-word that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And they like 10 and 7, right? Yo, I'll blow you, I'll bust you in your, you know what I'm saying? Talking mad hard. And it wasn't just me that spoke like that. My whole family spoke like that. Right? So even when I wasn't around, say if I wasn't around, yeah, because they was modeling that behavior because they didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? So they was like, yo, your son's gonna jump, your sons, man, they gonna be something. They be hitting that ball, man, they be running that ball, you know what I'm saying, and all kind of stuff. And so the older I got, the more I realized that ain't the way to go. Right?
Can I ask a question?
What's that?
I want to ask the panel. I don't have any kids yet, but if I had a son, you know, what would be the lesson that you would say should be taught?
CP, if you let me finish, I was going to tell you.
I'm trying to keep people in here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Fact,
read the room.
matter of fact,
young.
Give him some more knowledge. But CP, me, you, and Freezy had the same conversation one day on the other chat, and we was telling you and you know, enlightening you about fathers and kids. Freezy, you remember that?
Yep.
So I know you ain't got that quick.
Yo, I remember that. And I remember
because I was asking about having kids later in life than having kids earlier. I remember.
Hey, so CP, what I was going to tell you is I went to my boys. I was like, yo, don't talk like that, especially in front of your moms. You gonna talk like that in front of my girl? Is you crazy? And what I realized is instead of cursing at them, I was still talking at them hard, right? So it was like the same thing except G-rated. And so what I realized is I had to nurture them, right? I had to start back nurturing them because I didn't want them to step out in life and feel like they had to live my life through them, right? That's the one thing you don't want to do. You want everybody that you know to have their own individual life in peace, right? So instead of talking hard to them, I started doing stuff like with them, like spending time with them and listening to them, you know, and let them talk. Sometimes, dog, I swear they would talk my head off. I would literally doze off and fall asleep. they would talk me to sleep, right? I would wake up and they'd still be talking, right? And then my youngest son, he would shake me like, Daddy, you going to sleep? Like, no, he's like, you sleepy? And I'm like, no, man, just go ahead, man. You and your girlfriend was doing what on the seesaw? You know what I'm saying? And he'd be talking and whatever. And what I noticed is by me changing and modeling a certain pattern, certain behavior, not only was I making myself a better person for myself and people around me, right? But I noticed that the effect of me changing myself also impacted the kids and everybody else and made them better. Now when you look at my family, they so unlike Jersey City where I grew up. They are like the complete opposite. They are like, you know, Clemson graduates, you know, college graduates, great people, all this stuff, man. They don't speak that hard. They don't even now, as a matter of fact, that life make them feel uncomfortable. Right. And so what it is is what I was getting to show me Obi's point of of not having nobody to talk to, not, you know what I'm saying, not having a clear space and lane to thrive in, with the impressions of positive people being in your corner, especially men. Because I've been through that thing, man. When you don't have a bunch of male friends, when you do get around other dudes, them dudes be like, "What's wrong with this dude right here?" You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, ain't nothing wrong with this dude right here. The only thing about it is he just different. Like, he ain't gonna do some of that doggy dog stuff that a lot of men do. He just different. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, Free Keith, stop looking at me like you want to do something to me, bro. Free Keith looking at me like he want to put his hands on me, bro. This is just a different joint right here. That's all.
I'm listening and taking in the emotion, man. I'm just listening to y'all brothers, man. It's good. This kind of thing is necessary.
Yeah, man. So
Free Keith looked like he started his 420 already.
419 rolled into 420.
Right.
Not even, but for real though, like, I feel like we gather as a traveler. I've seen things in other places that make me really kind of question, like, the society that we live in. And like, I think, like, sometimes even in these talks, we forget about the bigger society that we live in.
Facts.
You know, like, this country was built for financial gain, freedom, you know what I'm saying? Like, those kinds of things, the material things that make you quote unquote happy in life. I think, like, the room and the space for these emotional talks and these talks of emotion really, like, are so far, and they're so far and few in between, and it's purposely so. Because emotions and capitalism really kind of, like, they don't mix.
They don't.
Right.
They don't mix, like, because capitalism has to be very much black and white. But the problem is, like, us coming from, like, and I'm not saying individually, some of us came from middle class families, you know, like the whole gambit. But you talk about like black men, black people as a whole in a capitalist society, which really is very much opposite to what our DNA is like. Like, that capitalism is not the Eastern DNA. It's not the DNA of, like, the communal African relationships that we've got taken from. Like, that's not like the rest. That's not really how we operate. Like you take us back to our essence, and my family's Caribbean, so I'm not even talking about, like, oh, like, let's go all the way back to Africa. But, like, you go out of America and you look at blackness, and it's definitely more community based. There's definitely more room to express emotion beyond bravado, and I think, like, that's what we're missing here.
Yeah, I think
a lot of the stuff, I think, could have been, like, I had cousins. My family was totally in the mix. I'm talking about, I grew up in crack era Brooklyn, Flatbush. My family was Caribbean, Trinidad, Badman. You know what I'm saying? Like, cats was in and out of jail. I'm blessed to have had so many different inputs into my life, because, like, if not, I look back at, like, little things that, like, little people that came across my path, this, that, and the other, like, that didn't have to be there, like, wasn't asked to be there, but if they weren't there, any one of them, this Keith that people know today wouldn't be here.
Right.
Yeah, I've got to say that I think part of what you said about emotions and capitalism, I think capitalism evolved and use emotions, because now look at like the record execs, right? A record company, they don't care if XYZ singer, country star, rapper talks about things that is destroying the community or right for society. They care about that dollar bill. But the emotional part is that we're buying it, the consumption of it, because we as people of color, we are consumer based. We are consumer based. We provide the greatest economic boost in the world. If we all put our resources together, it would estimate at $16 trillion. You know, we make everybody else richer, but the rich never bring back into our communities. The dollar in the black neighborhood only lasts for 6 hours before it is spent. The thing is, like, to your point, is we have to bring back community. When I bought my house, with a black realtor, so she got paid. When we went to the closing table, it was a black woman who sold me my house. It was a black law firm that closed the deal on the house. And I live in a black community where my taxes are going into the schools and the roads and so forth and so on. And that emotional equity needs to turn back into the infrastructure. And we have to get out of and I don't believe anybody here is doing this, but I believe where the man and the corporations have done is that they'd be like, oh wow, they like this. Well, we have to weaponize it for our own benefits. It's like, you know, rest in peace, Black Rob. The way he died, it hurt me. And I was not the biggest Black Rob fan, but he died poor and he died unhealthy. And what I'm begging our people to do is this: get yourself financial literacy, health literacy, the things that they're putting in our neighborhoods, you know, from the liquor stores to the fast food restaurants and so forth and so on, that's killing our bodies slowly. And the economic ignorance, right? We need to start investing in our own so we can have a brighter future. Let's stop being and I'm not downing anybody, you know, because, you know, treat yourself. If you get $1,000, take $100 of that and treat yourself. Not saying that, but that the other $900, put that towards your future. Put that to your retirement, for your kids' future or whatever. Put it into an asset where it's going to multiply. And but Free Keith, that was great.
Man, we talked about a lot of topics, man. So let me get back to what because the financial literacy thing is something we should probably do on an individual live stream, because that right there shouldn't be glossed over.
But the first part of that is really kind of realizing where we're at, though, and in a very serious way. Like this system, this place wasn't built for us. And I'm not even saying it in a way like, oh, like racism or, you know, those are all byproducts of the reasoning why it wasn't built for us. But that doesn't mean that we can't thrive inside of it. But like,
right.
The idea that capitalism owes us anything or is going to soften up and just give us something, it's just that's not going to happen. And not because because it can't, but because that's not how capitalism operates. Like capitalism, they're not going to say this to you, but capitalism is about, for you to create a winner, there has to be a loser out there.
Right.
True,
Well,
true.
you know what?
Do not
Freaky.
underestimate what everybody can't win under capitalism.
Right.
So
It-
providing you the recipe, so the winners providing you the recipe to win is just not gonna happen.
Right. In
Yeah.
capitalism, in order to have a winner, you have to have multiple losers.
Losers.
The name of the
way
game
system
is
built.
capitalize.
Like, that's gotta see that. Like, that's first and foremost. Understand the system to which you live under. Take away all like the look to the meat and the black and white and the core of it. The core of this joint. In order to win, people have to lose. Politicians ain't gonna tell you that. They're gonna tell you stuff like American Dream and like everyone has a chance and this, that, and the other. Like, yo, like the American Dream is a fantasy if you don't understand the core of where we live at.
But Free Keith, what about basic propaganda? Like when the kids go to school, right, and they see the chart, and it's like they do the kids' names, like they do the grading system and put it up. And so when you're a kid, you learn capitalist ideals like cliche, the cream rises to the top.
I mean, but in a capitalist system, well, I should say like there is truth to that. I'd say the danger. I don't have any kids, so I'm not speaking to how people raise kids or this, that, and the. I know how I was raised, but like there is a danger I feel in this whole like everyone's a winner thing that people try to push, because what that is doing is setting people up for failure. Everyone is not a winner. The winner is the winner.
So how do you feel about the raise in minimum wage? Do you think that do you think that hurts? Do you think that hurts or does that help? Because I think a lot of it,
doing what?
Bringing the minimum wage up to 15. Do you think that hurts or helps?
Somebody hit up Hector. Y'all know Hector, Project Nerd? Anybody?
Yeah, I want Hector on this.
I got his text. I got his text.
Yeah, Hector, tell him to jump on.
Hit Hector and tell him, come on. Yo, I'm gonna get I gotta eat this sandwich.
Young Hector Guevara.
Can I interject here?
Yeah,
because I've studied both socialism and capitalism, and both has their benefits. But here's the thing about having a capitalist society: the loser can be a winner, but you can't have that in a socialist society because everybody is treated the same. But the thing is that in a socialist society, the more and more people that are digging into the same pot without having the free enterprise at their disposal, where they can make more money without the extremities of taxation, they are stuck at one level. If they say, well, at our population, you could only have a 1-bedroom apartment, okay, 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. That means your desire to ever expand, to ever have more children, is hindered based off you have to share in the whole pot. And I know this because my girl, she's in a very I see her benefits that she has in her socialist country, and free healthcare, which is very, very vital. We need that. So and so I'm not. There's good and bads in both systems. You know what I'm saying? I tend to be more neutral on it because, like I just said earlier today, I was homeless, and it took by the grace of God to get back to where I am, and I don't believe everybody has that opportunity, blessings, whatever. So I get what Free Keith is saying. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if I lost my health, a socialist society, a socialist program would help me to maintain, you know, the things I can't maintain. And we briefly talked about something that was just on my that was just discussed. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
If I could jump in really quickly, like it's the purity of a system. It has like capitalism in and of itself isn't evil. It's not like, oh, like that's, you know, it's evil or it's good. It is a system. It is a system. And if exercised purely, if you're sitting in a country that is purely capitalist, like there is a human element that is not going to be there, because capitalism is about productivity, it's about pushing forward, and it's about winning and losing. And there is no softening to make the loser the winner, or this, that, like it's supposed to inspire that kind of ingenuity.
Right.
I personally think that those societies that I want to live in are more a blend of the two.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I
think and understand capitalism in the framework of the human condition. Like I gotta give you something to work for in order for you to, like, you know, innovate. And you know, Cats is just not going to do it for free. And I dig it. There's got to be some there, but you just don't want to. But I don't like the idea that you could free fall to the bottom. Like, you don't have the losing doesn't have to be the losing that you can lose in the United States. Like, because of capitalism, we've tried to make everything an industry that can be an industry. Like, we've made education an industry. It shouldn't be an industry. We've made prisons an industry. Imagine the idea.
Yes.
That we live in a society that we allow the privatization, we allow people to capitalize off of something that is supposed to be punishment and rehabilitation.
Right. And we made a farm system out of it.
So now those people go to Congress. You're a business person. You're running a business now. If I bought a prison, if I own a prison, I run a business and I want it to be profitable. So what am I going to the government to do? I'm going to go ahead and rally for
lock up more people,
more profitable. So I need more people locked up. Imagine that.
Right.
But the prison system has never been set up to rehab. That's just a word they like to use. But prison system, if you go back to the core of it, it was for free labor.
It was set up to be rehab when you could get a college degree in prison. When you could get a high school diploma in prison. Like, these things are really hard to come by now in the penal system. We talk about police reform, but we had things 20 years ago that would be beneficial today that they just kept chipping away at.
Yeah.
Because they don't deserve it, because they're criminals. Because they're criminals that mostly look black and brown.
Oh, now I forgot now I remember. But the minimum.
Just to finish my point real quick, the blending of capitalism with socialist elements, meaning that, like, there should be a safety net that you can't fall all the way to the bottom. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
Like
we should have insurance, like a employment insurance, like a true employment insurance.
And we're at the point in, like, how much more money do billionaires need to make? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be some kind of, like, I wouldn't even call it an upper level cap, but, like, there's got to be an upper level, like if you can afford everything on the planet, like, your tax rate is going up.
Mm.
Yeah. What I was going to say about the minimum wage hike of $15. Now, $15 is great for anybody who has a high school diploma or no diploma, but has the wherewithal to work and make $15 an hour. Here's the thing about the mathematics, though. What people don't understand is that 70 to 79% of all jobs are small businesses, We're talking about your barber, your hairstylist, your maintenance worker, your small bodegas. You name it. Those are what make up the job, the entrepreneurial spirit. Now, if I am a restaurateur, right? A restaurateur is a small business. It's not a corporation. And the waiting staff, they no longer wait on tips. They have to do the minimum wage of $15 an hour. Number one, you hurt the wait staff because they can't have tips, which they could make more on tips than they could do $15 an hour. If we all know that. And
you're using the wrong industry though. But go ahead.
I could use more
because the way the service industry is they're not beholden to the minimum wage.
Yeah, but I think if they want that change,
even with the new bill,
okay.
They won't be beholden to the minimum wage because of
good.
tips.
Okay, good. I stand corrected.
Well,
so
I'm a different industry, man. I gotta champ off. I gotta Zoom in 45 minutes. Yo, knowledge is infinite, man. Appreciate y'all sharing that, man. God bless you all.
All right, Jay Boogie.
I'll get with y'all. All right.
So as I was saying, me as a entrepreneur, if I was to hire someone, paying them $15 an hour would hurt me because that's 30,000. Is that 30,000 a year? Imagine if you had 12 or 5 employees that you have to generate that income. What would happen with the minimum wage increase is that these small businesses that make up 70% to 80% of our income, we will have to inflate prices. So bread that would sell for $3 at your store would have to go to $5. And how I know this is because, in third world countries, the inflation, the price of goods and services, all go up when it comes to the wages. So it's good.
I have a minimum wage at all.
No, I agree with you. I'm saying,
if you're gonna have a minimum wage, which we do, because there's a reason for the $7.25, the $7.25 federal minimum wage as it is right now, that nobody in this country can live on, even in the ruralest of areas. But there is a minimum wage for a reason. There's a minimum wage. That minimum wage has to represent a living wage, bro.
Yeah, but the math also works for, if people have more money, they tend to spend more, right? And the thing is, that's what the stimulus thing was for. It was to stimulate the economy because people are going to spend money because they didn't have it. So you start throwing money in their pockets, they start spending it, whether they needed it, to pay bills, or whether they just got it as extra. Shoot, I'm going to go and buy a car, whatever it was money in the pockets of the people that power this economy. When I had my construction business, and I was paying $15 an hour 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me having my own business. And what I was doing was, now granted, a person that has a McDonald's franchise or whatever, there's a whole lot more overhead and a lot going on, right? I didn't have as much, I had what I did. But if you are a small business, you do it all in steps, right? You continue to grow your business to where you can afford to pay one person, and then you get to 2 people, and you just grow it from there. But I think in the end, if some of these people making $7, $10 an hour, even if you got it up to 12, it would be tremendous to this economy and to those people that's struggling making only $7 an hour. And I think that's important. Maybe you just don't do it all at once. And I think the bill, it's supposed to go to 10, 12, and then 15 or something like that.
It's a phase in. It's not. It's not an automatic. It's not like like you turn on a light switch. Not everybody has to pay $15. It's not.
I think in fairness, it has to be the multi-million-dollar companies that have to enforce.
Well, those are the
Because
first
if you're
ones.
making,
Those are the
yeah,
first wave.
yeah.
That's the first
But
wave. But understand, like taxes, that just becomes something that the business world has to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're piecemeal picking, like, oh, you got to pay $15 an hour. No, this is the new business environment. So it's just as if you had to pay more taxes. Everybody does. Every business. If your business can't afford it, oh, well, this is also capitalism. Then your business can't be here because you have to be able to pay people a living wage. And $7.25 ain't it. Nowhere. Not in New York or in Wichita. So even if people want to argue, like, okay, like maybe it should be like there should be a calculation per place, cool. But whatever it is, the minimum wage should be whatever the calculation it is that takes any individual adult in that area out of poverty, working 40 hours a week, one job.
I hear what you're saying, and it's valid. The only thing
people are literally in some of those areas working 80 hours a week, working 2 different jobs just to be able to get by. Like that's incomparable. Like
it's hard.
That's hard, bro.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
And don't have kids.
Year after year, the business
the
fight is to get the business people.
I always worked 2 jobs in my 20s.
Did you?
Yeah, I worked 2 jobs in my 20s every.
Yeah. I was doing that too.
Yo, I worked 3 jobs to get myself through college, yo.
I dropped out of college. It wasn't.
Like, I mean, it's cool when you hear the story. You're like, yeah, like you know what I'm saying, like you fought for it, but that shouldn't be the norm. That shouldn't be what you have to do, like as a base level to be able to progress. Like that's not right. You can't expect that for everybody.
This is true. But let me ask y'all something.
And business been winning in this country. They like in terms of tax cuts, businesses have gotten more tax cuts in this country over the last 20 years than the average American. Like,
I love my tax cut. I'm not
feeling bad for business in America, bro.
I love my tax cut. I ain't gonna.
No, I'm saying we definitely do. But like, it's time. Like they gotta pay their fair share.
No, but I'm saying is that like. Yes, they have to pay their fair share, but me, I come from corporate, the corporate life of 20 years and my own entrepreneurial business. And when you have your own business, the occurrence of expenses are so great. I did my taxes last year, right? And I spent more than what I got in. And I thought I made a lot of money last year selling art, right? But I spent more trying to push that art than because look, I gotta pay for the internet. I gotta pay for licensing. I have to pay for frames. I have to pay for gas. The software that I use is $1,000 a year. All that I have to pay for out of my business, right? So it is natural for me to get a return next year because if I have to pay something else, that's it. I'm shutting down the business. I have to shut it down. And when I bought and so the thing is that I understand the myth is that big businesses don't pay taxes. They do pay taxes. It's the law to pay taxes, but the write-off is the expense. The write-off is the expense.
They have way too many loopholes. A company like Amazon,
Amazon paid $10.
Yo, dude,
I think it was $10.
I mean, but during this pandemic where everybody is locked in, Amazon made the most money of any company. Like they actually, their books was way in the black. Like they made excess billions of dollars.
Yes,
the people that work at Amazon the people that work at Amazon also driving Uber and this, that, and the other. Like they gotta have multiple jobs to make while Amazon is like progressing, so they don't even have an excuse, and they're not.
And I agree with you. Amazon should have gave
a share. It's
Amazon should
give. And they not paying taxes.
Amazon should give everybody a 30% raise.
But see, we say
for that. Yeah.
Capitalism don't work on shoulds. If I'm owning
Bro.
capital, if I'm owning Amazon, I'm not doing it until I have to.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this.
This business is black and white.
Right, I'm gonna tell you this, bro, and we can dispute this all we want, but I know this to be true. Right. So if business owners, not just business owners, but people that own business that's not business related, personal income, should pay their taxes, bro. There is, Bernie Sanders said, and I'm not a follower of Bernie Sanders, but Bernie Sanders said, listen, if people knew how many millionaires and billionaires did not pay their fair share of taxes, the country would revolt. Like think about what you pay in taxes, right? As a Joe, you just a Joe, somebody random one in a number, right? And then you have people that legit claim their income offshore so they won't have to pay taxes to any governmental entity.
Too many
right?
loopholes. And you can't use those same loopholes. The average citizen, it'd be cool if we could all use those loopholes. Cool, like let's all no. The business community gets way more loopholes in terms of like being able to skirt around paying taxes than the average American. So who pays taxes? Amazon or Jeff Bezos? Like do you think Jeff Bezos pays the same ratio of taxes as Free Keith? Even Bloomberg was like, yo, like he comes into his office and realizes that the tax rate that he pays is lower than the one that his secretary, who makes $30,000 a year, makes.
Right.
He's like, that's wrong. It's billionaires out there that's like, and corporations that it's wrong what we're doing here, yo. It's wrong, bro.
Let me explain from a man who I have my own business.
Oh, so do I.
Right. You talking
so okay, all right. Well, I didn't know you guys had your own business. I'm just so when you do your taxes, right, and you have a LLC, right? If your LLC had made money, you pay a higher tax than if you had a C corp. And a C corp, basically, you give yourself a salary. You're going to say for 2020 or 2022, right? You are paying yourself $50,000 a year, right? That right there is you pay less taxes than if you had a LLC. See what I'm saying?
LLC is flow through. It's pass through money, means that the taxes that you make is what's getting taxed. Like you're not an employee of your LLC. So yes, of course, but technically, if you're an employee of your C corp, you're getting taxed twice because you're getting your whatever you decide to pay yourself, you're getting income tax from that, and then your company is getting taxed whatever profit that it makes. So you're literally like, you as running the company, you're getting taxed, the company's getting taxed, and your income is getting taxed.
Right. But I'm saying, if you gave yourself a salary and you work off that salary, it's better. It's better. And as a business owner, you know that without the help of those loopholes, where like if I sell a painting for $3,000 and I have to give the government, I literally have to give the government like at least like almost 30%, and I'm not even counting. Yeah, I'm not even counting, and I'm counting also the state tax. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to pay the thing. No one gets free money. Nobody says, hey, I'm going to hide this, whatever. What you do is when you do your accounting and your tax return, you say, yeah, I earned this, but I also paid this. And that's how the game is working. And I'm not defending corporations because they have to pay their own thing, but I'm trying to help brothers and sisters who have their own business. Look, if you walk outside the door to pick up your mail, and you open it, count that as an expense that you traveled somewhere. I'm just kidding, but everything that you use for your business, write it off. It's right. It's writable. It's writable. It's write offable. You know what I'm saying? It's deductible. That's what I want. That's what I wanted to say. And that way you could still get the
Man,
tax.
where's the ghetto intellect when we need him?
Yes, please. Yeah, and because I paid a lot in taxes. I pay a lot in taxes, and I've gotten a return on also because my expenses are extremely high. To run the business I own. It's not just putting paint on a canvas. There's a lot of things that go in it. So that is what it is. But I believe in a free market society because I've see when people like hip hop started in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying, and then now it flourished in a $1 trillion industry through clothes, through fashion, through art, through music. We have a lot of people who were poor turning themselves into moguls. Yeah, I can focus on the negative, but if I keep on focused on the negative, then I'm gonna always feel like I'm at the tail end of it. Like let me tell you something. Like let me I said this before, but it's 2013. I was planning on taking my own life. I was done with it financially. I felt like I was in ruin. And as a man, our finances is linked to some of us. I shouldn't speak to all of us, but most of us, our finances are linked to our manhood, our
In a capital
ability.
society, yes. Yep.
Our ability to provide for ourselves. And at the weakest part in my life, you know what I'm saying, I was done. I was done with the world. At this point, I was just finished. You know what I'm saying? But that all changed. That all changed when I had help from friends and who were making money. And the thing was too is that one thing I realized today, like today, is that community service, community help. I don't buy much of name brand things. I go to my man who's an artist who has a t-shirt line, whatever. I'm gonna put money in his pocket first before I think, because I've learned being so down that $20 that I could give for that t-shirt to be great. One of my boys last year, which I'm gonna say nameless, he has a son, he has a wife, and he had a townhouse, and he lost his business, and the only thing that was left was his wife's business, who was shut down due to the pandemic last year. And because I was doing well financially, I was like, yo, what's your PayPal? And I sent him money. And he cried. He's like, yo, I'm crying right now because now we have food thanks to you. And I'm not bigging myself on what I did but I'm just using an example of how community, to your point, Free Keith, community, right? We breed more community. This is what community looks like. You know what I'm saying? This is what strengthening up an economy looks like. How we could take care of others before we take care of ourselves before we could take care of others. As the point I mentioned earlier, Black people, with our money together around the world, we make $16 trillion. There's this financial guy named George. I can't remember his name at this point. If it comes to whatever, but that 16 trillion, it goes out of our neighborhoods. It doesn't stay in it because we value too much what the gatekeepers are. No. He's a Black dude. He's a Black George Fraser. George Fraser.
Okay.
If you listen to my voice, look him up on YouTube and watch his financial literacy programs. George Fraser. Now, getting back, when we talked about earlier,
Hey, CP, let me. So you said about 8 things, man, 8 separate points, and we didn't get to touch on none of them.
Go ahead.
Right. So you touched on the thing about suicide. You touched on the thing about self-worth. You touched on the thing about financial literacy. You touched on the thing about financial responsibility, right? And what I wanted to do is talk about those as individual topics and not just encompassing an entire conversation.
Sorry,
right.
I was on a rant.
Right. But the thing about suicide and mental health issues and not being able to diagnose ones from the others is that we don't necessarily know how to recognize when someone is having a mental health issue. And if we do recognize it, we don't know where to get that person help from.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so what I wanted to do is talk about that some as opposed to glossing over it. And it's not out of respect to what you said, but respect to the issue overall and to those out there that may be, having, going through this. Yes. So the thing I wanted to talk about is this.
Free, real quick. He might be on his way, Hector. I just texted. He just texted me back.
Okay.
He said he's just seeing my text. He might be on his way.
Okay. Did you send him the link?
Yeah, I sent him the link too.
Okay. All right. So the thing is with the suicide prevention, the mental health issues. Okay. Well, I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay, I see him. Let me do this real quick, CP. And CP, the reason why I say that, man, is because a lot of times we have conversations and the points are so rapid fire that we don't do the point that you made justice because we hear it and then it's gone. Yeah. Right?
CP very smart, man. He a very intelligent dude, man.
Yeah.
I respect him.
So
appreciate it.
So the thing about suicide prevention, mental health issues is this. What we have to do is recognize that if someone is having mental health issues, it should be treated like a condition or a sickness or like you should get clinical help for it, right?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong. Like legit, there's nothing wrong with somebody if they're having mental health issues. In my opinion, you should treat it as not just as if somebody had asthma, but when somebody has asthma, you give them medical attention, right?
Right.
But when somebody has mental health issues, you're like, man, get over it. Yes. No, it's not that easy. It's not easy.
And I can speak on that. Let me speak on that real quick. And I want people to know something. I was the one who would say, man, I would never kill myself because I'm not weak. Right? I used to always say that. I'm like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Right.
During my hardest times, right, it was I'll never forget it. I was in my house alone And
Yo, Hector.
Yo, what's good, my guys?
What's good?
Yo, what's up, Heck?
Hector,
Chilling. CP, what up, baby?
what up? I was in my house alone, really going through it, right? Really going through it. Financial issues. It was hitting me. I remember walking down the step of my house, and I heard a voice, and it said, "You should go kill yourself." And and it was loud as day. This is my hand to God. It was loud as day. I shrugged it off. Things started to escalate into more depression and anxiety, right, in my life. And this voice started getting louder. This was 2011. And in 2003, when I felt like things were supposed to get better and they weren't, I didn't see the end of the tunnel, because depression and anxiety, it has a chemical form to
Right.
it. Your dopamine levels are now impacted. These dopamine is a natural was it I don't know if it's amino acid or it's a hormone that goes off in your brain to make you feel better, right? And that was off. So now the pain, the absence of the feel good hormone going off made me in a depressive state. And your body, your physical body, wants to stop this inner pain that's going on, because the faith and the whatever you believe in, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and I'm a Christian and everything like that, everything is triggered with negative thoughts and feelings. I would wake up with palpitations. I couldn't sleep at night. And I was very irritable, right? I was very irritable. So I guess anybody, looking for signs, looking for irritability, irrationality, people being irrational, people losing.
CP?
CP, your mic not working. All right, so CP, the artist mic not working.
How you guys doing? How you doing?
Can you hear me now?
Good, doing good.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
Yeah, so my Bluetooth died.
Oh.
Oh man.
Is this bad audio?
Nah, you good. You
No,
crisp.
you good.
Okay, cool. All right, just to end what I was saying. So everything in my body was crying out for help. So I think a sign is like when you see people or you feel people are like off, you have to sit them down and just listen. Listening is very important, because you have to let people get it out, and sometimes it's like a therapeutic thing, and then go from there is to get them. It's just like, hey, would you like to get some help? I'll go with you. I'll support you. This could be just between me and you, and let's go get help, whatever, because so forth and so on.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Salute to everyone in the chat. Sorry for joining late. I was like running around doing some things, and I saw my mama said text me, so I had to jump on. Freezy, I love what you're doing now, my guy. Like OG for real.
Right, this is my baby right here, boss. So this channel right here is the first joint, my first foray on YouTube, right? Because I legit just want to come on and chop it up with brothers and sisters about regular stuff, right? Just normal stuff, like how you dress for job interviews. What do you do in stressful situations? How do you diffuse stressful situations? whatever. And I was doing videos, and my videos wasn't working. And I was wondering why the videos weren't working. It was because I was a poor editor, right? And then I was doing nothing but Nick stuff with Sim. I was like, well, let me do some Nick stuff. And then I kind of got better at doing the Nick stuff, and people were more in tune to the Nick stuff. But the conversations on this channel used to always be deeper, right? People like legit come on, stay on longer, wanting to talk, asking, yo, when you coming back on? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so this right here is my baby right here, man.
No, but that's a good way to do it, because you know, whenever I talk to people, I always like to say that I try to be the sports bro that likes to make the bridge between like politics and like culture and stuff like that. And that's the same thing that you're doing. You know, this is like a culture lifestyle platform and stuff. And you being the person that you're on the Knicks universe is an easy way to bridge the two. They go hand in hand.
Right. And to not to push back what CP the artist said. So mental health issues are a serious thing.
It is.
Right. It's a serious thing. And a lot more people need help than what they let on. Right. Like we may know people that are legit having mental health issues, but their trepidation gets in the way of them allowing somebody to tell them something's wrong with them. Right. And when I tell people, excuse me, I'm sorry, man, I've been up since like 3 o'clock yesterday. But
use a machine, bro.
So what I want to tell people is this: there's nothing wrong with being flawed. You know, but there is something wrong with being flawed and not looking for help or fixing it. Right? Because nobody is perfect. Right? But when you're flawed and you know you're flawed, and you don't seek out help, there is something wrong with that. Right? Like when you have these peculiar thoughts and you know it's not who you are as a person, and it persists, you need to go seek help from people that know, right? Like for instance, I know we know of a lady that was having a nervous breakdown. You could see all the signs, right, coming. This is like in the 80s, right? They kept taking her to church in order to get help for her nervousness, her breaking down or something. And all they could tell her was like, yo, I'm going to pray for you, sister. I'm going to pray for you, sister. You know what I'm saying? Instead of understanding that was a chemical thing that was going on in her body that needed to be fixed. And listen, I'm not saying that prayer doesn't work, man. I believe in God, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe, but what I'm saying is there are answers out here that are readily available. And so with us in our ignorance, sometimes we basically I think the Legion of Knicks podcast said something, and it was probably one of the most profound things right? He said sometimes people are dumb and proud, right? And so he said that. I was like, what? You need to put that on a t-shirt. But anyway, and sometimes, you know, people that are in positions don't know what they're doing, bro. Like if you the church secretary and you love God, but somebody is having a mental health issue, you should defer that person to a mental health specialist.
Facts.
Right. You don't go, you know what I'm saying? You don't go to the dentist to get your car fixed. Right? Both of them a mechanic is a specialist and a dentist is a specialist, right? But you can't just use one for everything. The dentist don't fix cars. You know what I'm saying?
That's like if you having like anything that has to do health wise with you, or you go to ask a surgeon for information, or you go to ask the actual doctor for information. Right. You know, like who are you going to listen to? You know, and mental illness is a big issue, especially in where we live in America, but it's the stigma behind it that makes people not to want to sick it out, you know, because we look down on majority of people look down on anyone with a mental illness because they'll look at it as weak and they don't want to be perceived as weak. Just like with social programs, people think that people who are in social programs are stupid and they don't want to take advantage and they don't want to use social programs. You know, I believe in collectivism, us uniting as all, us working to help each other as all. You know, say like for health insurance, for instance, people talk about like, oh, you know, we can't have government be in control of healthcare, you know, but you want private business to be in control of healthcare, which only motive is profit and to make money.
Right.
You know, like
that don't even make sense.
That don't even make sense. You have to analyze.
Not even on a basic level. That don't make sense on a basic level.
Look at Amtrak. Everyone knows what Amtrak is, right? People got to understand. Amtrak was implemented. Amtrak is a federal run agency. You know, it was put in place during the times when the railroads were being made. Private businesses owned the railroad, so private businesses kept this regular working class people, like the four of us here on this panel, out from being able to get on the trains because the price was so much. Amtrak was put in place to control the prices so regular people could afford it. Now I'm gonna ask you this: why isn't there an Amtrak for the skies?
Right.
For the planes,
bro.
How crazy is plane prices,
bro? Don't get me started about the American car industry and why we don't have national rail, high speed rail. Don't get me started. Like the inner city, you can take the bus, right? But you can't. Come on, bro.
They just literally, like, I seen someone in the chat, they was bringing up minimum wage. Like, I was literally just reading an article today. The two senators that stopped the minimum wage vote from going through and becoming $15 an hour, they just got paid off by like the NRA. And I'm not talking about the gun agency. I'm talking about the National Restaurant Agency, the people that run restaurants. So they just got paid off to stop people from getting paid $15 an hour.
Right.
Well, we just talked about that.
But it's too late now.
No. Yeah. No, I just saw in the chat. I just wanted to just bring that up. I just saw that article.
So the thing. So CP the artist said, a bunch of things, man, and I hate the fact that I gotta go, man, but I gotta do some stuff.
Nah, right? Do your thing. I'm sorry I jumped on as late as I did.
What I was gonna do is let y'all rock. Like just like not let, but if y'all still want to rock, what I do is just get out the way, and then like when y'all wrap up, man, CP can text me, just say hit the kill switch, and then I just hit the kill switch. That's how me and City for real do it. But so what I wanted to talk about though is just things that CP the artist brought up, and maybe we can continue this on other joints or however y'all want to do it. But he brought up mental health and suicide.
Mm-hmm.
He brought up financial literacy. He brought up financial responsibility. And the thing that he brought up the most and he talked about the least is a person's self-worth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like legit, who like when I asked Hector, who are you as a person? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an easy question to decipher. But it's a hard question to answer, right? Like who? Like you ask Uncle Freezy, who am I? Who is Uncle Freezy as a person? And my perception of myself may be one thing, but my true self may be somebody else.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Am I money hungry? Well, I do work numerous jobs, and I live stream twice a day, and I'm doing all these different things trying to. But do I covet certain things? No, I don't think so. But at the same time, I do buy myself stuff for validation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So is in that weird twist, like, do I need validation or do I want validation?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, when you go somewhere, you go to some organization and you see somebody's nameplate on their desk and they're like, the Reverend Dr. such and such, blah, 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 blah. They got all these titles and all this stuff, right? Do you need all those titles? Can you just be Joe?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all seeking validation.
So why do we need, CP the artist, why do we need validation?
That's
Is it a self-esteem issue?
Wait. It depends.
It can be to some people.
It depends, and here's why it depends. It's because if you are looking for external validation to make yourself feel better, that's wrong. If you already have internal validation and you are rewarded for the things that you do, there's nothing wrong with that. I learned how to seek internal validation. When you call me Your Highness, I you know, I love it because I've built up that internal validation that nothing could like not nothing, but most things can affect me. And with my art and my work, my inner validation is that I'm getting paid and I'm rewarding myself through the work that I'm doing. I love my girl, and if I wasn't a whole person and I was looking for her outside validation, I wouldn't be attracted to her. It's a self-confidence to have an internal validation, and there's nothing wrong with it. But external validation, there's always going to be a problem.
CP,
What up?
CP, I need to ask y'all this. So what would possess a grown man to buy a pair of sneakers that costs 1/4 of his monthly rent?
External validation.
Not just that, but you see how you say that, right? You know, and don't think I'm trying to come for you. Not at all. But that people would like to demonize black and brown communities for buying, like when it comes to material items like clothes and stuff like that. But they don't demonize white America when they buy guns, which cost the same amount as a fucking Jordan. I apologize for cursing, but a shotgun costs the same as a Jordan. And how many people in the mid-rural America collects guns that cost the same amount as Jordans or sneakers?
That's a good
parallel. You know, we demonize, like I said, we demonize social programs that black and brown people, Latinx communities, black African Americans take advantage of, but we don't demonize when someone lives in the suburbs, but they get a mortgage fixed rate on their mortgage, but that money is subsidized money. That money is given to the bank from tax money. That's subsidized money, just like housing program are subsidized. So people love to demonize programs that poor people take advantage of, but no one demonizes programs that rich people take advantage of.
It's true.
That is interesting.
How y'all go from internal validations to the housing and
no, I was just making a dichotomy.
They connect. They connect because how many people have you known that got a promotion on their job and automatically moved out of that small house they were in into a bigger house?
What's wrong with that?
Not a lot of
What's wrong with that?
Hey, bro, is the first question you should ask is it a need or is it validation for you moving up the economic ladder?
Well, like I said earlier, about if you have $1,000 and you should take 10% of that, which is 100, and reward yourself, because if you're living just to work, you're not living at all. You have to reward yourself. You have to keep yourself going by rewarding yourself. But I understand what you guys are coming from. There's nothing wrong with having nice things, but the thing is that if like I live in Atlanta, it's the stunt capital of the world, Hollywood at its finest, right? Where you have people they go to the clubs, the bars and whatever, and they get the most expensive drinks.
They flossing.
They flossing just for their credit card to decline.
Right.
Then they gotta go call their boy, and they're like, "Yo, cash at me, some money." Right in front. And I have waitress friends that tell me this. Now that is a form of overdoing it, but I've realized in my life is that money, it's like the squirrel and the nut. The squirrel is not eating all the nuts. He's storing them for the winter. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to store your money, right? You're supposed to live at least 30% of what you're making. So if you're making 100,000, you should live off only of 30,000. But we don't. But most of us don't lose. Jerry Seinfeld, and we're talking about internal and external validation. He owns 100 cars, and he said that the money that he accumulated never made him happy. He realized that it was like the pursuit of life, the life itself, made him happy. Giving to each other will make you happy instead of taking from each other. Well, the good book. Jesus said, the golden rule: treat your neighbor as you want to be treated yourself.
Right. Okay. Hey, fellas, I got to wrap up here, man. I'm legit about to tuck it out, right? But what I want to do is do this again, right? So everybody watching in the virtual chat, thank y'all for coming over and trying out Chop It Up. It's legit something I was doing on Facebook. Usually it'd be more mommies in here, more ladies. They'd be going at my head. And so what I'm going to try to do is incorporate both crowds to make it more fun and entertaining for everybody. Like for the nerds, like Hector and myself, to be in the room with like the ladies that legit want to talk about the differences between wages between men and women and races and things of that sort, bro. It gets heated in here. So but anyway, just want to say thank you to everybody for jumping on. We definitely gonna try this again next time. I have my partner in crime, Sin Mears, because he's been itching to get on and do some stuff. I've been wanting to have.
Yeah, I've been wanting to have a conversation with Sin for a while. He always come through the chat and shows love. Shout out to Sin. Right, and so I've been wanting to have the conversation. I've been wanting to have two conversations. Been wanting to have the sexuality debate, right, with about men and women and opposite sexes, like the gay questions, the straight questions. I've been wanting to have that conversation, and I also want to have the marijuana debate. You know what I'm saying? In here, like what does marijuana do? You know what I'm saying? Why are we still talking about legalizing it? You know what I'm saying? After all these years. Well, the name you said it, marijuana. They specifically called it marijuana because that's how you say it in Spanish. So they wanted to have the fear attached to the name.
Yeah, the Mexican J in it, right? Yeah. It's crazy. But I've been wanting to have that conversation. But if y'all scared, then we won't do it. What I would say, some topics, what I do is I put the thumbnail out. And so for cats like CP the artist that are afraid of certain topics, that way he won't have to jump in. But I like for CP to come on because CP is smart.
Afraid of what topics? Yeah, just become with the I read books, man. I read books. Just come with it.
CP, that's what books are there for, bro.
CP, I've read all of Marx's works except for This Capital because it's just over 1,000 pages, and I can't get through a book that's over 1,000 pages.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe we can schedule a joint. Since we always run across each other, I'll just run a topic or two across y'all, and then y'all tell me which one is the most fire topic. And then
I'm down for whatever. It doesn't matter. Salute to all the proletariats and the working class people.
Salute to all the capitalists, because I'm one.
you may think you're one. But you're a proletariat, CP. You sell your labor for money.
Right.
I'm a capitalist, man.
There is a huge,
and I'm proud of it.
Bro, there is a huge difference. So, but just want to hey, Chop Low came in and I got distracted. I forgot what I was gonna say. What's good, Chop?
What's good? Listen, man, my cousin, she gonna jump on too.
Hey, we about to roll.
I know we about to
on.
wrap up. You know, Mama wanted to get on. She's at work, and then my cousin, she gonna jump on too. You heard?
Hey, so we about you talking about jumping on next time or talking about jumping on right now?
She got the link. She's like, I'm gonna jump on right now. We gonna jump on right now. Show some love. You heard?
Yo, okay.
He bogarted.
Yeah.
He bogarted.
Yeah. So
we here now. CP, what's good?
Yo,
Mama said, "What up, my dude?"
Yeah,
yo, Hector, you know I love you.
Choplo be like, yo, I don't care what you say. I don't care how tired you is, man. I said you gonna stay on there.
Nah, I'm sorry, we came in.
I know he from the Bronx.
Nah, I'm from Brooklyn, baby. You heard?
Oh, yeah, one of the two.
Hey, is your people right here? Hey, Simone, how you doing?
Hey,
Brooklyn
how you doing?
On taking it.
We
Happy
good. We
420,
good.
everybody.
Happy 420 for sure.
Yes.
It's a national holiday.
It is. It's my holiday. Yep.
I gotta go, guys.
Later, CP.
Hi, boss.
Yeah.
That's CP getting out of there. So, but how y'all doing? Chop told me. Chop was like, yo, my people coming on. I don't care where you thought about going. You gonna stay right here till she get here.
Oh.
And I was like, yes, sir.
That's my cuz. That's my cuz. Way back.
So Chop is legit my little brother. People don't know that though. People don't know that. I cut my beard off so they don't feel like we look alike no more.
Wow.
So are you Freezy?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Simone. Great to meet you. I've heard a lot about you as well. I heard about the logos and about what Hilly's making, and I like what you're doing. You're working with the community, and I'm happy to be here.
Right, so we're trying to do a lot of stuff, especially do these conversations, like have these adult conversations about topics that really matter in our communities, especially things like racism, sexism, relationships, growing up, like being men and women. You know what I'm saying? So we we getting on here legit about legit start chopping it up. We got on today. I had been doing it before, but today I felt like the vibe was right for us to jump on and have another conversation and continue to have conversations like this one. So we had a great one today. We talked a little bit about self-worth, some suicide, some mental health issues, some stuff like that. So we trying to do it big. We trying to share.
That's so important, especially in our community, and we gotta speak about these because it's so real,
Right. Especially when you seeing people suffer in silence and can't offer help for them. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame when you see somebody suffering, they have an issue and you can't find the help to what it is that they need, especially when they need help. Right. So, because it leads to other stuff, like it used to like substances of abuse, abusive relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
A lot of different things all stem from mental health issues that could be solved.
It's about analyzing like the root cause of a problem. Like whenever I have these conversations, like on Twitch and stuff like that, look at what's going on right now, and in the United States, especially like with policing and stuff. The argument against it is, oh well, look at the crime in the communities that it comes out of. That's not the argument. That shouldn't be the conversation. We should look at the root issue and what causes lack of infrastructure in these communities, what causes lack of funding in these communities when it comes to public school, when it comes to housing program, when it comes to daycare programs, when it comes to actual supermarkets and actual like supermarkets that are clean and supermarkets that has fresh produce. We have so many Kennedys and so many like random places that you could eat, but we don't have like fresh
Whole Foods and Trader Joe's.
Exactly. Like our neighborhoods are built specifically to be food deserts. Our neighborhoods are built to specifically be financial deserts. Like there aren't banks, there aren't credit unions in our communities. There's so many check cashers, but there aren't banks. I always ask people, like, especially if you live in New York City, right? New York City loves to name itself as the most liberal city in the country, which is laughable. It's one of the most segregated segregated states in the United States. When you look at just how everything is laid out, when you look at public school, if I live in the Bronx or if I live in Bed-Stuy, I can't go to a public school on the Upper West Side because it's my zone school. Look at the MTA, how the MTA is set up. How many people we know work in the Bronx but live in Queens, or vice versa? Why is it I have to go through Manhattan? Why isn't there a train system set up from the Bronx to Queens? There's bridges with tolls, but there's no train system set up in those areas. When's the last time there was a brand new public school built in New York City? A brand new public school, not a charter school, not a school that was shut down and they put 4 high schools in it, a brand new public school.
Right.
Okay, I'm coming.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff, bro. Hector, you know what? The next time we jump on, man, I think we probably need to speak to economics and how it impacts.
You see, hold on. I gotta address something. Danny Melendez, you see, that's the issue that I'm talking about. You said ask your Democrat governor the question. Just like when we talk about policing, Black Lives Matter and police killing people, the first thing someone wants to say, look at the crime in your neighborhood. Danny, you just did the same thing. That's not the issue. Because all these politicians that are in places, look at where they get their money from.
Yeah.
All right, Danny?
From the prison too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Bro, Hector, we have a lot to talk about, bro. We have a lot to talk about. So how about this? Our quest for Chop It Up is saving the world. How about that? How about we try to save the world? How about we try to get next time, man, listen. So usually what it is it's women be on, and bro, but I didn't link to the Facebook crowd today. But the next time we come on, bro, I'm telling you, it's gonna be nuts in here.
Yeah.
But I'll try to figure out a time. But I gotta run, yo. I'm mad tired. I'm about to kill over right now, yo.
Okay.
Hey,
it was so nice to meet you and come on finally.
Hey, Simone, you welcome anytime.
All right, thank you.
You welcome anytime, boss. It was good to meet you.
Okay, have a lovely day. You can say hi too. You can say hi. That's
hey, baby girl.
Say hi.
Hey, baby girl.
Say have a good day. Hi, nice. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. You guys
all right.
Bless up, okay?
All right. Bless up, baby.
420, you heard?
You heard. All right, Joe. I got it. I'm a run. Y'all check out the Knicks at Night podcast tonight at 11:45. Hopefully, we'll be talking about a 7-game winning streak. The KMD Knicks Morning Drive in the morning at 8:45. We'll see what we can do about Chop It Up. I need to get the cast of characters together in order to pick a time in a day that we can get together and do it. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Thank everybody for coming through. I'll holler at y'all.
Salute, Hector. Mama said.